Hey, this is Politics with Lar. Politics is an undercurrent of everything that goes on in this world, whether if it turns into a war, social upheaval, economic collapse, or whether if there's peace. Everything has to do with politics. We're going to look at it, analyze it, and connect the dots. This is Politics with Lar, and I got a good one for you. And a couple of videos ago, I said that the Democrats may be throwing Joe Biden under the bus. Believe me, I would not cry at all. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I would not shed one tear for President Joe Biden, him and his horrific racist policies, but it seems like people have a short memory suffering from ADD. Oh, yes. Or shall I say ADM, attention memory disorder. Or AMD, I'm sorry. However, Gaetz said something quite interesting that I'm like, whoa, I can't believe he's saying this. And he is pointing out that the Democratic Party or certain people or certain Democratic members are throwing Joe Biden under the bus. However, I find it quite interesting. Now, all of a sudden, they're starting to find all these top secret information documents. Now, you can't walk out of the room that you go in to view top secret documents. You could go in there, but when you walk out, you can't walk out with that paperwork. You simply can't. So it makes me wonder how this occurred. Now, it also makes me wonder how President Biden was able to get his hands on some of the documentation to where Hunter Biden was able to use some of that information when Joe Biden or President Biden was vice president. Well, anyway, it helped him within the Ukraine to where in 2013 he was able to, in my opinion, because I can't prove it, I believe destabilize the Ukraine and put the puppet in that they want. And I did videos beforehand talking about how Zelensky, the ukulele country, how he became president by the help of Igor Kolomoisky. That is, I love that last name. If you ever get mad at someone, call him a Kolomoisky. You might get into a fist fight. So for Matt Gaetz to say, hey, there's something going on. So let me show you this. Matt Gaetz says classified doc scandal feels like Democrats are taking out Joe Biden. And I most definitely agree. Joe Biden served his purpose. Okay. So here it says Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida hypothesized that the classified document scandal surrounding President Joe Biden is being fueled by Democrats who are ready to give the failing president the hook. And I most definitely agree. I'm I most definitely agree with what he's saying. He also says the Justice Department began its investigation into Biden after the first batch was discovered by the president's personal lawyer at the Penn Biden Center in November, just days before the midterms election. I was going to say selection. The development only became public this month after the CBS News broke the story, and the White House was forced to respond. So there's a lot there. There is a lot there. So it's like, okay, one, and I'm not siding towards President Biden. I'm not siding towards anyone but the truth. Now, question is, his lawyer, how did his lawyer find this stuff? Was he going through his house and searching? Did someone say, hey, yo, lawyer, mouthpiece, go on over there, go look through his house, go look at the Penn Biden Penn Library and look for these top secret files. He had them since, let me see, President Obama served 2 years. Let me see, 16. So he had them for a while, and all of a sudden, now there's an issue. Hmm. It makes you wonder. It really does. Now, I have a video. This is so strange. To where I point this out in a previous video that I did. So, okay. Area. But most of all, it's quite interesting China, how China was giving money to his library, the Penn Library. Quite interesting, but I don't want to get totally off topic. Now, let's start it off with this. Let me see. Let's just start off using his own words. And I believe, okay, right here. Let's start off with
Okay.
this.
Classified material next to your Corvette. What were you thinking?
Let me, I'm going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage, okay? So it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
So
But anyway,
was in a locked garage.
Yes, as well as my.
Locked garage. His classified information was in a locked garage. And it doesn't, I don't know whether if Joe Biden really has Alzheimer's, dementia, or some kind of degenerative memory loss, or he's faking. One or the other. Either way, it's not good.
But as I said earlier this week, people know I take classified documents and classified materials seriously. I also said we're cooperating fully and completely with the Justice Department's review. As part of that process, my lawyers reviewed other places where documents from my time as vice president were stored, and they finished the review last night. They discovered a small number of documents of classified markings in storage areas and file cabinets in my home and my personal library.
Okay. I'm going to leave it right there. So, his time as vice president, as I said before, and some were classified. Again, how do you get out of that little room to where you're allowed to go in there and view it and not take it out? So I can't remember the gentleman, but he tried to steal some classified information, and then before he even got out the building, they got him, took it back, and they gave him a slap on the wrist. I can't remember the gentleman's name. If you do, please put his name down there in a comment section. But there's a lot going on here. There's a whole lot. And President Biden is getting ready to go down real hard. Either they remove him due to mental disease or defect or whatever they call it, Article 25, to where they remove a president. And then if that happens, and Kamala Harris becomes president, and then the Speaker of the House becomes vice president, this is quite interesting, a turn of events. The question is, will they allow President Biden to finish out his entire term? Or do they cut him off at the knees and then just sort of take him out kind of hard? Now, President Biden did a lot over in the Ukraine and also in China. That right there is, look at my previous videos. Even, Victoria Nuland, the undersecretary or the diplomat of the ukulele country, said that she came out and said that they were over there doing some things for the government, opening up secret labs that had black labs that had biochemical weaponry over there and some other types of black labs over there, CIA labs over there, and it was headed towards the Russian water country. So we can say all we want and look the other way that the United States, along with NATO orchestrated this. We can look the other way. That's why the ukulele country's president is coming to us for arms, money, also ammunition, and any and everything what they can get to fight the Russian waters country battling the ukulele country because the United States and NATO started it. It's just what it is. You can go back to my previous videos to where I actually give you documentation stating that. However, on that note, what do you think?